morning. Now I set this live up, it's 10:10, and we've had so many portals in the last few weeks. We had that eclipse at the equinox around the 21st of September, and wow, it was an energy that it was like the universe is changing us. And I felt it, and I know lots of us felt it. And for me, it felt like things coming to a head. This was just before the eclipse for me. Things coming to a head, and then massive expansion. And I'm sure that was the same for many of you. And then just this week, we've had the full moon in Aries, and that is all about releasing the last little bits, and also this massive fire energy, bringing up the fire energy with Aries. And Aries is the first star sign of the year, so it was bringing up this new energy, and you will have felt this. Now, the big theme that I've had going through for the last 3 weeks, from around the 15th of September, about 3 weeks, is plant. And it's plant seeds. For me, it's been bulbs, plant ideas, really feeling into what would you like your life to be like in 6 months' time. So in the spring, when we get to the March equinox in the spring, what would you like in your life? What would you like to create? If you're thinking about maybe starting a family, and that'll be a little bit later, but start thinking about that now. This time is so powerful. There is the number game is 1010 portal energy. Every month we get like 4433 1122, we get those numerology portal days. And usually 88 is what I make quite a lot of fuss of. And this one, I was going through my old events, and this one I usually do, and I'd sort of forgotten. It's amazing that you're really busy that you forget the little patterns that you used to do. Now, I work out of a little bedroom. I've got this beautiful picture here behind me that is by Kerry Mitchell, and it's about sort of traveling up, and I feel it's very portal energy. It's like going up the steps through the portals into the star seed realms. And then you'll notice I've got a mirror here, and I sometimes think about, but I think it's important today. I felt it was important to say that what is going in our worlds is also being mirrored. So here I am with my painting here by Kerry of going through portals. So we're sort of like feeling what would we like to happen when we go through into 6 months' time. And I've never felt this so powerful, this energy, like I'm feeling now in October ever before. It is a big thing. Nearly all my little groups I've been doing, either it's with my priestesses, whether my dragon riders, whether it's in the grove, in the walk, I'll come back to all those things. Everything I'm doing is dream big, and don't limit yourself. We do have a habit as humans of thinking, and I'll give you an example of thinking that's not possible. But the energy at the moment is dream it, manifest it, and you'll notice we can manifest very fast. And especially depending where you are on your path, you'll find that your manifestation and ideas come to fruition much quicker. just last week, I watched the film The Celestine Prophecy. I'd read the book years and years ago, and somebody had brought it to my attention, so I watched the film. And the beginning things are about synchronicity, and it's a really important message. It's on YouTube. You might like to watch it if you've got an afternoon. It's not the best movie, but it shows you these 9 things. And it's interesting. I think I always felt I never really understood the ninth. Yeah, but I do understand it now. And it depends on where we are on the journey to what we understand at the point. And honestly, this book was written about 1993. So, I would have read this book very early on in my earlier on in my spiritual journey. And I don't know if I ever saw the film. I think the film was a bit of a flop, but I think it's because, it's a very spiritual concept and maybe it didn't have the budget behind it. And it's set in Peru, which is interesting because this week I've been attuning my Mary Magdalene priestesses to the 13th rite of the womb, which comes from Peru, comes from that area in the world, and comes from the jungle, Amazonian jungle women, and they passed it on to Marcello Lobos, who's involved with the Four Winds Society. And it is such a powerful energy. This week we did it, and it was so powerful. I know it's been powerful before for me, but it felt really, really super powerful. And that is all about releasing fear and having your body for creation. And that is so poignant as creation with exactly the energy that's at the moment. So what I'm doing on a practical level is planting bulbs and making plans. And for me personally, I've got 3 plans. One is about planting for spring preparation, but that's also coming in different ways. So it's coming very practically in ordering bulbs and putting them in the ground. And I've got different people doing them. I've got my husband doing them at home, and he's planted loads of tubs because we tend to have a sort of some things in the ground in our garden, and some things in tubs so that they are flexible. I like flexibility. Don't know about you. I do like permanence, but I do like flexibility. Adaptability. Now that's a word. I'm working with 2 trees this week. One is reed, and reed doesn't seem like a tree, but the Druids just decided anything over a metre was a tree. I'm sure loads of other things were trees in that dialogue as well. But reed is about flexibility, and I'm a water sign, so it's about being flexible. Now, I want to bring that energy into you about the water as well, and about being flexible, flowing with the stream, ebbing and flowing with the tides, in and out, or whether now on the space of the Grove, which I'm very much a part of in Staffordshire, we have a pond, but we have a stream. Now the stream only flowed in the winter, to be honest. In March, I think it was flowing, but because of this beautiful hot summer, too hot a bit for the land, I will be honest, we haven't had any water flowing down, I don't think. Yeah. If it had been last year, we would have had water up all the time because we had so much rain last year. And this year has been such a contrast. So last year, 2024, was really a water year. We had so much rain, so much water, filling all the water tables up. And then this year we've had this drought. Been a bit hot times, but we've had beautiful sunshine, loads of sun. And in that, there's plenty of water, not necessarily in the reservoirs, but what is in the water table under the earth, under the surface water now. I'm not sure how deep that is. My daughter works at Severn Trent, so I could ask her. You know, we're not talking miles. We're talking, you know, probably 500 feet or something. So we have these years. Now, this is just like us. We have years when we are really in flow. Everything's going very creative, very good. Then we have these fire years when we're just working through everything. Now, we got to the eclipse, and this is what my guides want me to say. I've been feeling into, I work with Mary Magdalene. I've been working with Hecate for the last 3 weeks too. I've been working with her for years. That's more to do with my plants. That's to do with finding the magic in the poisonous plants. And I am writing about that slowly because I seem to be quite busy. But also, at the moment, I'm working with Metatron. And I've been working with the energy of Andromeda. And also Thoth came in today. So Thoth, I don't often work with Thoth. I normally work with Horus. Now, Horus, of course, is the eye, the visionary. So probably what I'm bringing through in this 3 weeks feels like it's going to go right through to 11/11. So she'll come and do another 11/11 talk. But this window is so potent. So you have to think about, and we'll do a meditation in a little while, we have to think about, what do you want in your life? And think big. And what would you like? And we're giving it a 6 months window. So we can often say, manifest so fast that they arrive this week or tomorrow. And I'll give you an example. One of my priestesses was saying to me, have you watched, she asked me about the Celestine prophecies, but she also said, have you watched the Mists of Avalon, Kim? Well, I thought, yes, I have. I remember watching that, a little while ago, and it's lovely. And she asked me about 3 times, so I needed that message. So she was and the Celestine prophecy. So she was sort of, she loves it, and she kept saying, have you seen this, Kim? What's your take on it? So I was talking to another group. I'm giving you all the conversation. Another group because the energy was so crazy last week. And I was talking to this other group about slipping into the Mists of Avalon on your dragons, because when you meet your dragons in my book, I've got that here in my book here, when you meet your dragons, you go to meet them under the Tor at Glastonbury. So I said, if you're feeling the energy's a bit too much, it's been quite intense, you can go on your dragons. And I said, have a dragon cloak, dragon rider's cloak, and you can fly into the Mists of Avalon. Well, we said that. The next day, and for 2 days, Avalon was covered in the mist. So that was pure manifestation, pure talking about it, dreaming it, visualizing us in that mist on our dragons. And it was there in evidence, in physical form for 2 days. So this was a very clear message to me how powerful our thoughts are. And this is very, very important, that we know that what we think, what we say, what we talk to others about is happening in real time. And it is happening lightning fast within a day. So not sort of, I would normally say, don't say I'll win the lottery. I mean, I've got premium bonds and I win on them every month. It's not a huge amount, but I win every month and it is lovely. It's a little surprise. So this dream big is, and I've met a few people who are different at that crossroads in their lives. You know, I was at the crossroads in my life back in 2014 and 2017. So these crossroads in your life turn up at different times. And at those times, you have to really, really feel into yourself. Who are you? What lights you up? What makes you happy? What would you like? It often, if it's career things, with me, there were career times. It was the job, the career, the stress of the career, the environment, all became too much. Um, um, I'll say too much. I decided to walk the fully holistic path, so walked away, and I feel like this time, sometimes our guides are telling us to do this, this, and this, and we're not always listening. At the moment, I tend to work. I work from home, and then I work out of a place in Yoxall, Staffordshire, and then my guides have told me to go and find somewhere else to start teaching again, and I have. I found somewhere else quite quickly. Found somewhere really quickly. Just a few miles away to teach from. Lovely little space, affordable, flexible, and just what I want, really. So I'm giving you my examples so you can think about your examples. Now, let's have a look what else I want to talk about. This moment, we're in this Aries energy, so we really got to think about what lights you up. Same thing, dream big. That's the umbrella. Dream big. Now, this can be physically, it can be about our health, it can be about choosing to eat clean, have less processed foods, more fruit and veg, change our whole way of, being. Um, Personally, I'm working on my heart health, so I'm doing all those things and then adding lots of plant allies and supplements and things to support the body. Then it can be about our mind. It can be about new growth in our mind. It can be meditations. It could be starting courses. It's feeling what is it you might need. So if you've got this vision of what you'd like in your life, and we'll go in a little while through a meditation through the portal to meet Thoth and to meet Metatron, and for you to receive your keys and codes that take you into this dream big. Because we all, and I think we'll meet Hecate because she's at the crossroads and all the keys hang off her trees, up from her. She carries the keys. And I always work with Hecate in beautiful transformational light ways. To me, I mean, I work with flame energy, so I work very closely with her. I work with frequencies and colors of flames. You'll find in most of my work there is sort of a pink bliss, a white flame, a magenta flame. There's a new Christed flame that I've been working with for years, but now I'm going to start sharing it. There's violet flame, emerald flame, there's loads of flames. I work on that color frequencies. So, are you ready for what's coming? Because spring, if we prepare, will be beautiful. If we prepare, and you know that thing, that old saying, if you prepare, it can happen or it can't, sort of. But if you don't prepare, you've got no chance. And if you just think, I think winter's quite a potent time because since I follow the seasons and more connected with the seasons, at this time of year, we start to sort of be like the trees, drop our leaves. And then into those winter months, when we get to Yule, we tend to be, especially like January, we're just sort of in the ground. And I used to have a career when you couldn't be in the ground then because it was full on. That was teaching full on through this time, when really I was thinking about it the other day, the school year would be much better if it was sort of started in March and then went forward. I don't think we can change that because the school year is all built around the harvest. And that was about children being available to have the time off for the harvest to help the families get the harvest in. But we don't do that now, so who knows? Right, so if we get our ideas planted by the 11th of the 11th, and we can finalise that then, we'll come back and talk to you again about that. We can finalise that then. We'll go through another portal and finalise that then. Then we know as we move through the winter, get up to Christmas, move into January and February, the snowdrops start to come up. We know by the time we get to the equinox that all our ideas are in fruit, have already started. We might make little steps. I don't want to talk so much about my life because I give you things for examples. I've got sort of a bigger vision for our grove, which I've just starting a new course next year called Earth Spirit, which starts in March and run to September. We're going to create the overarching vision is an apothecary garden because I love plants and healing with plants. And it's a bit linked to another mystic, and I'm this step it, sort of I have this opportunity and I have this vision, so this is the vision. Then I have another vision. So at the moment, my first vision was to plant all the bulbs so the garden looks beautiful, because at the moment we have like this space of about an acre of land, and we've been planting the grove. Now this is where I say that this time last year, where this was work playing out for me, this time last year, I said to Nick, who owns the land, could we have a grove? And that was just all I said, could we have a grove? Now, my thought pattern was, in my vision, practicality was, there are a few trees here at the back, and he's got some fruit trees. I thought we could just have maybe 6 trees there in a circle. Or, I thought we could incorporate those and just take a little space, because this big space that's the acre, yeah, you've got a lot of joy about this space. This big space, the acre, was mainly a field, and he was using it for sheep or something like that. That was September last year, 2024. Yeah, so you can always ask others for your dream. I wanted a grove because I love trees, and I was doing the Bards course, or the OBOD's Bards course, and I want to keep going to be a druid. And it feels a funny sort of thing to say about, but that's how it is. And yeah, so anyway, so as that time up to Christmas started, Nick started planting trees, and he started to plant the grove. I sent him the booklet from OBOD, how to plant a grove, and he got a book, it's probably around here somewhere, about the Celtic trees. Now, this book didn't follow the same trees per month as the main ones do, but we thought, right, go with it. So he started getting interested in it, and he'd planted things before, so he did have the experience, and he had the space, and he started planting this grove. So just before Christmas, probably about November, October, I decided to do one meditation per tree a month, and then started working with Kerry and Nick to create a course, which we started in January, and that course was Tree Spirit, and it's still running. Just got 3 last sessions to do this October, November, and December. And this was we plant a tree, we bless it, we learn all about its properties as a tree, healing properties, uses, and then the mystical properties, its guardians, and yeah, and it's been, I mean, it's been a beautiful, it's been an amazing dream, and we've dreamed it into fruition. And that was from, I'm saying I haven't really done this, that was from last year. And the year before that, 2023, I started my Druid gatherings. That was sort of came about in August and started that in September last year in 2023. So this year there's me dreaming big. Right, what I want to do is take you into meditation, and I want to pull a card out of it first for a focus. These cards, I've got this deck. I've been working with the seen and the unseen. Now, this is very poignant, but I shall pull another card. This deck is this, the Inner Temple from Rebecca Campbell. I like Rebecca Campbell. The lineage of the 13th rite of the womb that I shared came from Mary Ora Rose, then Rebecca Campbell, and then Marcella Lobos. So sort of a short lineage, and I could share more of this, do some more zooms on it. But I've got these, and I've been really enjoying these. So, but here, the seen and the unseen. Now that threads through, just moving things here, that threads through my book as well. Because when I wrote this book, the Dragon Book, it was about what's in the seen world and then tapping into the unseen world as well. What's happening, what happened in the past, what happens in the unseen. And this is a bit like we create an idea and we can give it up to, like the tree idea I gave up to Nick. And at the moment, this bulbs thing, I've taken a bit of ownership. So it gave it up to me to plant the bulb, to organise and get the bulbs, and then a couple of us to plant them. But then often other ideas we might say to our partners, to our friends, to someone, what about this idea, you know? And other people and the universe and our spiritual team are working behind the scenes. There's so much we don't see. So in those unseen realms, a little bit like we got the mists of Avalon, those unseen realms can be there when we manifest them. And so in that manifestation, we can be a bit, if we don't be broad thinking, we can imagine that there isn't anything apart from what's physical. And so we need to tap into that unseen. And it's a bit like when we're going to go through the portal, that we're going into the unseen realms and really feel into that. So I'm just going to pull one card for us. Just got these cards. I feel one card for as we go. Here's a beautiful tree. Actually, I keep coming back to this because it is beautiful. Here we have the tree and you and water, and then what's above, you know. And we've had all this gorgeous portal energy. You might see portals in fires, in rivers of water, portals. Always, I see. That's an interesting thought. I see rivers, bodies of water as being portals to the other worlds. And the first trees we planted were older, and the alders are like guardians of the portals of the other world. We've got them round the water. But other people might work with totally different energy. So they might work with fire or air or earth. And so different things become their portals, what's there for them. And I do feel like I'm reflecting on that somebody else who may have a fire as a portal symbol that's for them, because me it's water, but for somebody else it could be fire, that when that appears, it's something to show them the portal that they're going through, and not in In the same way, a way of transformation and inner growth. So, what I've pulled is the ceremony of life. This is a card for us in our portal, in our journey today. The ceremony of life. Now, so in that energy that we're in of creating big, dreaming big, we are dancing within life, and we are with that beautiful white light. I work with that white flame energy. I teach it, share it through my books. But we are dancing when we're creating, I've got a colour dove up here. When we're creating, when we're dreaming, we are stepping into our lives as the creator, the manifester, the person. We're not saying the universe has got to supply all this, because it does, because we create it. We create our own magic, our own dreams, our own lives. Right, so I've got some myrtle oil here. Thank you for staying with me. Getting this long. I've got myrtle. These are just little oils and a carrier oil. I love myrtle. It's not one that, it's amazing what happens sometimes in life. You'll think about, just looking on these cards, I can find that these are some little cards I've got. The myrtle is, the guardian is goddess Aphrodite, and brings love and beauty. And usually sort of like, I work with Mary Magdalene as the rose, but, well, these are all about Mary Magdalene, to be honest, but Aphrodite is the goddess of myrtle. And sometimes, it's very important in life that sometimes we forget to love ourselves. We think we're loving ourselves, but are we truly loving ourselves? Are we truly choosing us first? Are we truly selecting us first? So I've also pulled out Saint Hildegard, but this is the work that I'm working with the Grove, is rebalance, letting go, and spiritual growth. There's always spiritual growth. It's a journey. We're always going through it. Okay, so, right, let's just take you within yourself. So if you just relax and we'll go within. We're just inviting your spirit guides in, your team in. I'm calling in Mary Magdalene and the energy of Saint Hildegard and Aphrodite and Thoth and Metatron. I'm a little bit multi-layered. You can find that about me. So just see them form around you like a semicircle, and you feel each of their energies. So we've got Mary Magdalene coming in quite powerfully today. She's here very powerfully. To me, she's coming in reddish colours. She may be different for you. And then we've got Saint Hildegard of Bergen. She was a mystic. She comes to me in gold and purple, lilac purples, mainly purples and gold. She was a mystic, a nun, a healer, a visionary, a writer, a lot of things she was. And then we have the energy of Thoth. Yeah, Thoth. He often comes in a bit quiet, Thoth. And Metatron. And also I said I was going to work with Hecate. She's coming in. Okay, so they're standing below a big stone staircase. It's a great grand one, like in a big house, but this is like sort of in the outdoors. A grand staircase, like in that picture behind me, a staircase. And they're standing on either side. And one of your guides comes and greets you. Maybe your higher self. And you walk together with them, and the others follow up the staircase. into the doorway, gateway space. It's a huge gateway I've got here, space of 1010. Numerology 1010, 1 and 1, new beginnings in and out. I would say the seen and the unseen, two new beginnings, put them together, master number 11. And under that master energy, feel into that creation master energy for you. So we've got this 1, 1, two new beginnings, the seen and the unseen. What are we managing? We're going through the gateway, and it opens up into a beautiful garden. I like gardens, you'll find that with me. And in this garden, you have stepped into a portal, a space, into... God, that's my husband calling me. I'm on Zoom. I apologise. Should have been wrapped up before he came back from shopping. Okay. Right. Okay, we're in the garden. And we've stepped into the portal of endless possibilities. And within this portal, you stand with the guardians, with these ascended masters that have come through with you. You have your higher self with you. And you have a scribe with you. Might be a monk or a nun or a bird or something. There's a scribe with you. And there's a desk, you know, like a desk, with the scribe. And in this beautiful space, you are to think about, what do you want for the next 6 months? What would you like to come into fruition? What would you like to create? If you haven't got a vision, we've all got things we'd like. Maybe it's spend more time with family. Maybe it's reconnect with friends. Maybe it's traveling or moving house or finding a career that really suits us. Maybe it's about finding ourselves in the middle of everything. Maybe it's stepping away from all the drama. We have lots of things that we think about. Maybe it's for our health. For me, health is first and foremost. Maybe it's how to connect more with people on a new level. Maybe it's how to bring more peace in the world, and this is also something that we always want as light workers, spiritual beings, to have more peace and harmony in the world. Maybe it's to have better communication. Maybe to be open to change. Maybe to stick up for yourself, or to for me, better communication, I'm going to say on that. So, see before you, and I'm into plants a lot, 7 plant pots. They can be any size, shape, form. And with your imagination, plant your dreams in each of the 7 pots. So I'm giving you 7 visions, 7 dreams. You might have to come back and visit again what they all are, what you're going to plant. So we tend to talk about physical, mental, spiritual, etc. So plant things in each of the 7 pots. You might imagine putting a bulb in, and that symbolises, like say if I put a daffodil in plant pot 1, that will symbolise joy, the solar energy, the sun energy, the happiness, that light energy. Say if you plant in, if you plant viola in another pot, that represents heart's ease to me. You don't have to have too much of the symbolism. It's just plant your ideas in each of the pots. So plant in number 1. And as you plant, Hecate is here. She gives you a key for the dream to happen, for the wish. So we do 1, have a key. 2, receive a key. 3, receive a key. 4, receive a key. 5, receive a key. 6, receive a key. 7. In 7, really, really think about the biggest thing that you could create. And receive a key. And I'm just going to share some light language over you as your top plant, covering them all in soil and putting all your dreams, all your hopes and your wishes into them. Shanakusha, Tanakusha. Let's seal all those dreams in. Shanakusha, Tishanana. Seal the dreams in Shanakusha. Shanaka, Shanaka, dreams. Shanaka, Shanaka. Shanaka, Shanaka, Shanaka. Kushana, Kushana, Kushana. And feel an energy around each of your pots. You may water them now. Take a little watering can and water each one of them. And water them. And then feel an energy of the sun's ray, golden ray light on each of them. And you're standing there before them. And you feel an energetic energy around each of those pots coming to you full circle. I want you to imagine a golden light and white and gold coming down through your crown, coming down through you into the floor. The white flame, white universal energy, white light, and gold and creator energy flowing through you, and then through your hands and through each of your pots. I've got mine in a semicircle. They may be different for you. So you could go and touch each one and pass through the golden creator energy and the white energy through each pot. Shanakasha, 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 Kushana, Tinakana, Kushanakasha, Tinakasha, Kushanakata. And Thoth comes and stands. And he turns to the scribe. I've got a bird as my scribe. And he's got a bird making me laugh. Got a long pointed beak. I'm sure I might have seen him in the Muppets, but that's who I've got. So it doesn't have to be so serious, but it is manifesting we are. And the scribe writes everything down in a funny little symbols in a language all of his own. And then places it all in a scroll and gives it to you, wraps it up in a gold ribbon, and Thoth gives it to you. Sleep well now, my child, your dreams have been placed. Go into the autumn and winter. go into the autumn and winter. All your dreams have been placed. And just feel a beautiful shaft of light. And then feel step back, slightly disconnect. So we start to begin to ground. And then you've got your scroll, you've got it, evidence has been written. And then walk back to the top of the stairways where the gate is, the big portal windows. And as you step through, you feel the shift, that it is done. It is done. And walk back down the steps with your higher self. I've got some gorgeous mist in the garden. I think somebody, and a bird, yeah. And walk back down the steps and ground, and I'm going to count you back to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come back. And it is done. So we've set and sown those seeds, those bulbs, those ideas, those visions for spring. It is done. You have your scroll. You might want to come back and do it again if you felt you didn't have enough things to put in all 7 pots. Yeah, it is done. You're ready. And I shall come back and do another live 11:11 on this channel so that we can see what else needs to come in from the masters. My heart to your heart. You might want to write all those dreams down so you have them. But they've been witnessed by Thoth. Blessings. Blessings. I'm just feeling that beautiful energy now. So with that, I'll leave you with the card. The ceremony of life. That's what we are living in, the ceremony of life. Creating, being the creator in our own lives. I don't know if this chat's working on you. No idea about the chat. If we even get a chat. So you might, if you've enjoyed this, you might want to share it with your friends. You might share it and share your comments, etc. Hope you've enjoyed it. Come back if you want to come in again to really fill all those pots up, because 7 is a lot. Yeah, blessings to you. Thank you.